Did you know that every triangle has a first name and a last name? Now, if you're imagining this, hello, my name is Barnaby Higglesworth. I need you to erase this picture from your mind. This is not how we name triangles. A triangle is named based on the type of geometric properties or attributes that it has. The first name of a triangle comes from the type of angles that it has. So if a triangle has one right angle, it's called a right triangle. If a triangle has one obtuse angle, it's called an obtuse triangle. And if a triangle has no special angles, if all three of the angles are less than 90 degrees, it's called an acute triangle. Today we're going to see that the last name of a triangle comes from the type of sides that it has. Let's get started. So yesterday we saw that when we classify a triangle, we want to start by looking at the type of angles that it has. So we can see that all three angles in this triangle are acute, which gives this triangle the first name of acute. It's a beautiful name. The last name of the triangle comes from the number of sides that are the same length, or the number of sides that are congruent. We can see that all three sides in this triangle have one line, which in geometry tells me that all three of these sides are the same length. And because all three sides are the same length, this is called an equilateral triangle. Unfortunately, the names in today's lesson are not quite as easy to remember, but I have a trick for that. All right, so this triangle is called an acute equilateral. When we move on to our next triangle, now remember our trick, if we want to make sure that an angle is a right angle, we can stick a note card into the corner just to double check that it's 90 degrees. And we can say, okay, yes, this is a right angle, which means my other two angles are acute, and the first name of this triangle is right. Now this triangle has two sides with one line in it, and one side with no lines in it. And what this tells me is that these two sides are congruent, and then this side here across from the right angle is longer, is a different length. All right, this is called an isosceles triangle, which is a hard word to say and a hard word to spell, but don't worry, we'll have lots of practice today. This is called a right isosceles triangle. All right, let's look at my next triangle. Now I see right here I have a wide open-mouthed angle up here at the top. That is an obtuse angle. That's what makes this triangle special. The other two angles are acute, and the first name of this triangle is obtuse. Now look at the lines in the sides of this triangle and tell me what you notice. If you saw that there's a 1, a 2, and a 3 in the marks on the sides, that means that all three of these sides are different lengths. None of the sides are congruent. When none of the sides of a triangle are congruent, the word for that is scalene. Again, not an easy word to say, not an easy word to spell, but we're gonna practice. This triangle is called an obtuse scalene triangle. So let's put this into action. Here we have a mystery triangle. We want to give it a first name and a last name. So where do we start? We always start with our angles. So I think that this looks like an acute angle. This looks like an acute angle. And I'm pretty sure that that third angle is a right angle, but I want to just be sure. So let me use my note card just to double check. And yep, ladies and gentlemen, oops, we have a right angle, which gives my triangle its first name. Now, what do you notice about the side lengths? Each one has different marks. It goes 1, 2, 3, which means all of these sides are a different length. None of the sides are congruent. The word for that is scalene. Now, y'all, I know those last names are tricky. I know those last names are hard to remember. And because of that, I have a little trick to help you. So let me introduce you to my trick, which goes like this. S-I-E 0, 2, 3. Okay, say it one more time with me. S-I-E 0, 2, 3. Okay, Miss Witherspoon, that's fun, that's catchy, but what does that mean? Well, friends, it means that a scalene triangle has no congruent sides. An isosceles triangle has 2 congruent sides. And an equilateral triangle has 3 congruent sides. As long as you can remember that first word, the rest of it will take care of itself with practice. That first letter of the word, the rest of it will take care of itself with practice. Want the worksheet I'm using in this video? Click on the link below and get the full packet, including partner practice, 3 pages of independent practice, a challenge page for your early finishers, and an exit quiz. Thank you for watching and happy teaching.